Hi everyone, this is Sylvan from Sylvan's Way. And listen, my witches, my tarot lovers, my spooky season souls, I am revealing every deck in my collection with witch in the title. So let's step into the witch's circle. So, I love creating themed collections, if you haven't noticed by the last 3 Saturdays. And this one is extra fun because so many of my decks actually have witch in the title of it. And I think I counted out 16 of them. 16 of my decks have witch in the title. Some are playful, some are dark and moody, and others feel like stepping into a witch's grimoire. So let's explore all of them. All of these they're going to be tarot and oracles. And the very first one that I have is the Witches Through History. And this deck, I got it because I love the guidebook. This really isn't an oracle deck for me so much as it was a learning deck. And I also stinking love the artwork. It is stinking fabulous. I love this blue with the red with the pops of yellow. It's really great. It's really great. But the reason I love it the most was because of the guidebook. The guidebook is absolutely fabulous. So if you're just looking for a deck that's fun and can teach you some things about witches through history, this might be a deck that you're interested in. So this is the Witches Through History, and it is a grimoire and an oracle deck. And then on the subject of learning about witches, this Oracle of Novice Witches. This one is also really good because it's about witches and witchcraft through history. So we have like tools that witches use, and then about specific people that are in witch history. So, Gerald Gardner, people like that are in this deck. So this is another fun one if you are looking to just get like a witchy vibe aesthetic. I've actually never used this deck for anything other than looking at and maybe putting if I'm wanting to invoke a certain character through time or an animal or something, I'll put that on my altar. But otherwise, I have used this more for a learning jumping off point where I'm like, maybe I'll pull a card and then I'll do a deep dive. Like, who exactly was this person? Who was William Blake? Here's a little information about him. But then, the nerd in me goes full boat into it and then has to research everything about this person. So this, again, is another one of my more study type things. And, so that's mostly what I use it for. If you use it for something else, let me know, because I am definitely very interested to find out what other uses you would use this Oracle of Novice Witches for. Another deck that I use mostly for study and putting cards on my altar is the Celtic Goddesses, Witches, and Queens. And this one has, I have a strong lineage in Celtic. So, of course, I wanted to get this. And sometimes when I want to work with an energy of one of these goddesses, I'll put it on my altar. I also have done, just like the last one, I have done pulls from it where I pull a goddess and then I spend the next week, or even sometimes if it was a really good deep dive, I've spent a month on a particular goddess, researching the goddess and learning more about the goddess. And I think this is a beautiful deck. I love the artwork of this deck, and the guidebook is really, really good because for each goddess, we have how the name is pronounced, because sometimes I don't know how to pronounce them, so that's always good to have. It tells you all about the goddess. And then it has, if you are using it for divination reasons, then have a divinatory reason or a divinatory meaning. And then you have a prayer. So if you're trying to kind of invoke that goddess's energy, you have a prayer that you can actually do. So I really liked this for using this deck for that reason as well. So that is the Celtic goddess is witches and queens. I love this deck. I really do. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. And you know, that last deck was really about empowering women and embracing feminine energy. And that is definitely what this next deck is about. It is Witch, woman in total control of herself. So this is a stunning, stunning deck. With the images of this deck are absolutely gorgeous. And it's one of the reasons why, actually, it is the reason I got this deck. Because these images, I just love these images that, you know, it's still that collage style artwork. And I think it's absolutely gorgeous. But to be honest and frank with you, this deck was a little too woo-woo for me. I did not like some of the references to like Harry Potter and things like that in the guidebook. I felt like it was such a, it could have been such a powerful message, and I felt like that kind of demeaned the message a little bit. So I got a little with the flowery, like over feminized, like it just got to be too much for me in the guidebook. So I use this for nightly draws for a month, and I have to admit, it never really rang true for me. But the guidebook is a chunker, and if you like that kind of thing, this might be a deck for you. I mean, it is empowering. It is empowering. It's talking about embracing things about yourself, not feeling ashamed about who you are as a woman, things like that. So I do feel like it has its place. And maybe it wasn't the place for me at that time, but it just was a little too woo-woo for me. But it's still so gorgeous. And I am not getting rid of it. Don't get me wrong, because it's so beautiful. So that is Witch, woman in total control of herself. Okay, talking about empowering decks. The Wild Witch Oracle is one of those empowering decks. Now, this is more my speed. This deck, I love the artwork. Again, it's completely different from the last one, but I do love this artwork, and I love the guidebook on this. So this is about empowering yourself. It's about living an authentic life. And I really enjoy this deck. This deck is really nice. I actually am thinking about using this deck for, you know how people make those monthly, I haven't done it before, but I think I'm gonna try it, where you make a envelope for the month, and you randomly choose your cards and put it in for the month. And I think that I might use this deck. I have this one and another one that I might use. I don't know which one yet. I haven't decided. But I think this one would be really good to put this person in, randomize it in 12 different envelopes, and then open one every month, and then have that be the thing that you focus on. This could be like your guiding person. This is the person that's guiding you through those lessons for that month, kind of thing. So I think I might use this deck in that way. So this is the Wild Witch Oracle, and I think it's absolute. I thought these eyes were going to kind of freak me out at first, but I love them. I feel like they don't freak me out. I feel like they're penetrating my soul more than anything. So anyway, that is the Wild Witch Oracle. And I really like this deck as an empowering deck. So Wild Witch Oracle. Okay, my next deck is the Green Witches Oracle deck. Of course, I had to have this in here. My next three decks are going to be more like on the green witchcraft kind of vibe. So this is definitely in there, is the Green Witches Oracle deck. And this one's a little bit different as far as it's got like the green witches, all the stuff I like, and kind of stuff in it, but it's also got a lot of herbal stuff in it. So I love the artwork in this deck. I think it is absolutely a stunner. This is right up my alley. I don't know, you might hear me say that over and over because I like so many different kinds of artwork. So, but see how this is all definitely outdoors green. I mean, it's the Green Witches Oracle deck. Of course it's going to be. So it's got crystals in it. It's got herbs in it. And then it's got, you know, all of the different items that a green witch would use, such as a watering can. So that is the Green Witches Oracle deck. My next Green Witch deck is the Compendium of Witches Oracle. Now, this deck is very similar. I mean, it's twofold. So we have all of our different witches here through history, and then we have all of the things that they use. So these are different tools of the Green Witch. So I think this is the one that is in that I'm thinking about possibly using as my monthly monthly guide, putting it into those envelopes, because all of these witches here through time have something to share and something to learn from. And when I got this deck, if you look back at my deck review of it, you will see where I said, or maybe it wasn't a deck review, maybe it was just in one of my videos where I said, I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to use this deck, but I think I found a way to use this and really embrace the wisdom of these witches through history. So, I love these archetypes that were included in it. So I'm definitely thinking about putting one of these in an envelope and choosing for a monthly guide, so to speak. And then this is the other half of the deck where it's all of the tools of, I would say, a green witch, because these seem like very green witch vibes, isn't it? I mean, I love the artwork. The artist is this artist is another stunning deck. Absolutely stunning. So that is the Compendium of Witches. My last oracle deck that is of the Green Witch variety is the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. Now, I know you might be saying, Sylvan, this says tarot. This is a tarot deck. And I know that the creators created it as a tarot deck. However, it doesn't read like a tarot deck. I mean, it is totally different. It's its own unique system. And I don't use it as a tarot deck. I use it as an oracle deck. So I actually want to do a deck mod on this deck that I think I saw, who is it? Lennox Reese. I think she went through here. She took one of those whitey things and whited out the name and then wrote in on top of it the key word for the image. And I think I want to do that same thing. So this is such a green witch deck for me, but it's definitely not a tarot deck for me. If you have this deck, if you went through Lisa Pepez's, she did a deck study on this, and I was part of that. So we did a deck study for 2 months on this. And in the end, I would say 95% of us decided we were going to use it as an oracle deck and not as a tarot deck, because it doesn't really have any correlations to Rider-Waite-Smith or Marseille or Thoth or anything like that. So it's definitely its own system. And of course, I don't know about you, I don't got time to learn a whole new system. So I'm going to use this as an oracle deck. But isn't it very Green Witch? It's very Green Witch to me. So that is the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. And I love the artwork. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay. Anyway. Okay, the next one is Oracle of the Witch's Candle. Now, this deck system is, you know, it says Oracle, so it's Oracle, but it's a unique deck system where you actually get to throw these cool glow-in-the-dark dice, and it allows you to choose how many of these cards, and then out of these cards that you've chosen, you then choose these. So it's like a two, like it's so cool. Like I have a deck review on this if you are interested. I just think it's super fun when they include something like dice to help make a selection for you, and then from that you pull additional cards. But these are all like the medieval. So this is a deck by, oh my gosh, who is the producer of this? Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. Like, I have to look now. Libra Moon. There we go. Oh my gosh. So Libra Moon makes this with a bunch of other decks that are, they have this luscious cardstock. The images are fantastic. There's usually gold foiling on the cards, and then gold, like some sort of foiling on the edges. The backs are like stinking. I just love this deck. Another deck that I think is absolutely gorgeous. And I really love the fun variety of the different way that you use this deck. And I have to tell you, I've had friends over to my house and we have pulled this deck out and did a reading using this deck, and every time it is so good, it's so spot on, and everybody really enjoyed using it. So if you're a person that enjoys a little bit different of a divinational system, and you don't mind using the guidebook to look up information while you're doing it, then this might be a witchy deck that you would love. So I love it. I think it's fantastic, and it's a perfect deck for this time of the year. So that is the Oracle of the Witch's Candle. Okay, so the next two oracle decks I'm going to show you are for shadow work. So the first one is the Witch's Shadow Work Oracle, and this is the same artist that, I don't think it's the same writer, but I think it's the same artist that did the Seasons of the Witch. So if you like that artwork, you're going to like this one. And it's definitely it's really pretty. I really like it. Each of the cards has keywords, and then when you look at the guidebook, you can go a deeper dive into that shadow work. I personally have not used this deck yet. I am waiting to use this deck during the winter because this seems like a more winter time deck to me. But you could definitely use it during spooky time, that's for sure, if you do a lot of your shadow work during spooky time, or, you know, pretty much any time of the year. And I think this deck is going to go really, really well with the new Seasons of the Witch Tarot for winter that's coming out. I think that they're going to pair up really well. And of course, I'm sure that it pairs really well with the Season of the Witch oracles as well. So I don't usually do oracles together, so I probably won't be doing that. But if you do, I'm sure that it would go well with it. So this is the Witch's Shadow Work Oracle, made by the same artist as Seasons of the Witch. Okay, my next shadow work deck is the Gothic Witches Oracle. And just a warning, this has nudity in it. It is a collage style photography deck, but there's definitely nudity in it. I don't know. Maybe I'll go through and in the image I might edit it so I put like, you know, little hearts or something over parts that are nude, so I don't have to make this 18 and up. So, but this is I got this deck. The story behind this deck is really funny. But when I was out in Oregon, and I went to see it full on nudity. I went to a really cool, oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it. Oh, I should write it down. Okay, I'll pop the name up if I remember to do it on this part of the thing. But I went into this really cool, super goth store, and they were selling some oracle and tarot decks. And of course, this is totally 100% goth. I mean, it's the Gothic Witches Oracle. And so, of course, I had to get it. I had to get it in honor of going into that store. Now, honestly, I'm not really this kind of artwork it doesn't really do it for me. So, but I have a friend that does photography and she absolutely loves this kind of artwork. So maybe it's your aesthetic. I mean, I'm not getting rid of it by any means because it's so unique and I love the story of how I got it. So, but this is the Gothic Witches Oracle, and it is supposed to be used for shadow work, though I have not used it. I think it's even, yeah, it's still in its original order. So Gothic Witches Oracle. Oh my gosh. So that was 16 oracle decks with the word witch in it. Oh my gosh. 16 of them that specifically have the word witch in it. So my next 5 decks, yes, I only have 5 decks that are tarot decks that have the word witch in it. So you might say to me, Sylvan, some of those decks didn't seem so spooky, scary, witchy, but that wasn't the point of this. These are decks with the word witch in it. So I'm sure that there are spooky, scary decks that would be perfect, that are witchy, that feel witchy, but I specifically wanted to do a deck haul, or not deck haul, but a deck parade, so to speak, that are just have the word witch in the title. Okay, so my 5 tarot decks with the word witch in the title is, of course, we have to have some black cats. So we have Dame Darcy's Witchy Cat. And, oh, I just dropped something. These are the backs. Aren't they cute? So I love Dame Darcy's art style. I really, really love her mermaids art style. Her mermaid deck, and I do use that in the summertime. It definitely reminds me of that one reminds me of boardwalks in Florida, so that kind of is nostalgic for me. So when I got that, I got this one because I mean, who doesn't love some witchy cats? So I think it's just absolutely adorable. I have not used this. You'll notice that it's still in the same order that it came in, because I'm waiting to see, do I want to do a deck study with it? Is it just going to be a collector's item for me? You know, that kind of stuff. But it does have the word witch in the title, so I had to include it. So Dame Darcy's Witchy Cat. Okay, the next one is the Sacred, if I could say it, the Sacred Witch Tarot. And this is a relatively new release. Only came out in the last month or two. And it's very witchy and mystical creatures. And this one is perfect for this time of the year, this spooky time of the year. And I have used this for a couple of readings. And I really, really like this deck. I have to tell you, Y-Spell does a really good job on their decks, and they are the most affordable decks, I swear, the most affordable decks on the market. And not only are they affordable, but the imagery in their decks, the images, the color saturation, it pops, and the cardstock is really nice. Really, really nice cardstock. It shuffles really good. I mean, for like $17 mass market, you can't beat this. You really can't beat this. So this is the Sacred Witch Tarot, and running up the line to being probably one of my most favorite decks, truly, because when you factor in the cost as well as the quality, it really is a great deck, really a great deck, and the aesthetics are fantastic. Like I said, perfect for this time of year. Okay, so that is the Sacred Witch Tarot. The next one is the Hedgewitch Tarot. I really like this deck. I love the images. And the cardstock, I really disliked it when I first got it because I felt like it wasn't going to last well. But I've used it a couple of times and it does seem to be holding up. So I have hope for the cardstock. But I do love the images, and I think that this is really good for this time of year, all the way through the holiday season, because I don't know, because there's a whole suit in here that's very Christmassy. I feel like it ends up leaning the deck a lot to that direction, to like a Yuletide kind of deck. So I might be using it more during that time of year. But isn't the images, like, it's so pretty. I really, really love the images that are in here. And the guidebook is actually really good as well. So, and these backs, look at these backs. I mean, they're just gorgeous. So I really like this. So like that is screams Yuletide to me. Like, and it's hard not to feel Yuletide when using this deck, when you have a lot of images that are similar to that popping up, even though this is very summer, because each one of the suits in this deck are based on a different season. So all of the colors for that suit are like either pinks and reds, or like blues and greens, you know, that kind of thing. And then the winter ones have more the Christmassy kind of feel. So but for me, it kind of blends it toward that. I don't know. What about you? Tell me what you think. Do you think that this feels more of, and this is the reason I got the deck, but tell me if you feel like this deck feels more Yuletide, winter, Yuletide time, or do you feel like it's more fall, or do you think it's an all year round deck? I'm just wondering what you think. But I love this card. This is absolutely one of my favorite cards. If I could get this printed out as an image to put on my wall, I definitely would. I absolutely love it. So, but that is the Hedgewitch Tarot. Okay, my next deck is the Witch Sister Tarot. Of course I have this deck, and of course it's going to be included in this deck dance that of all of my decks that have the word witch in it. Now, if you know this deck, you know there's some nudity, so just a nudity warning here. And I'll even take the first, oh my gosh, the first 3 cards that I go across, of course they've got like full scale nudity in them, but I love you can't get away with it. You can't get away with seeing nudity in this deck. But this deck is very Scottish, and it's definitely very much my vibe. It feels so witchy, so rustic, so, ancestor roots kind of deck, and it's perfect for this time of the year. So this is definitely a very autumnal deck, definitely. And I absolutely love this deck. And it is just so unbelievably gorgeous and so witchy. And these witch sisters definitely feel like sisters to me. I mean, look at that ancestry. It's called tradition. All of those ancestors going back. So this is hands down one of my favorite decks. Hands down. It's just so meaningful. The guidebook is so good with the descriptions of the cards and the meanings behind the cards. It's definitely not Rider-Waite-Smith. it's based on Rider-Waite-Smith, but the artist interpretation definitely goes a different direction. So you can't just pick this up and read from it unless you're reading intuitively. But I usually like to go from a system. So I do refer to the guidebook a lot on this particular deck. So that is the Witch Sister Tarot. Okay, my last tarot, my last one. Tarot of the Witch's Garden, of course. And I love this deck. This is my summertime deck. Oh, just look at it. Definitely a Witch's Garden. Absolutely love this deck. And this is nice Llewellyn cardstock. This has got, it's the thinner, so it's nice. It's got that linen finish. I love the glossy so that the images really pop. This deck shuffles so nicely and it is just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it is one of my all-time favorite summer decks. Such a good deck. So I, of course, I had to include it. This is my last deck that I have with witch in the title. Isn't it great? I felt like it was a perfect ending. You know what? I should have ended with Witch Sisters, though, because it's more along the lines of, spooky time. Spooky time. This one's not so spooky. This is definitely 100% summertime for me. So that is the Tarot of the Witch's Garden. Okay, that's a wrap. So that is 16 decks with the word witch in the title. And I hope you enjoyed this magical little, coven tour. Yeah, that's what I'll say. Coven tour. And I want to know which witchy deck is your favorite. And is there one that I missed that has the word witch in the title that I need to know about? Because I definitely leave it in the comments, because I love discovering new witchy decks. So, definitely let me know. I am definitely always interested in additional witchy decks. And so I wanted to let you know, if you love spooky season decks and roundups like this, definitely give it a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you don't miss future witchy videos from me. Okay, until next time, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Bye.